Welcome back, students, to WNR University for the sadly much delayed second season of the Boys spin off Gen V. So, who will be graduating with honours and who will be sneaking around in someone's arse? Because that actually happened. As we get into the good, the bad, and the multiple what the fuck moments from season 2 of Gen V. I'm your Dean, Dean Gregors, and I'll be teaching this class today on Gen V Season 2 with fellow faculty members Marie and Jose. First question is, which power would you like to have from any of the characters in Gen V Season 2? Marie. I'm expecting your namesake because gay, traumatic, and also can make people's heads explode.
It did cross my mind, but the thing is, what I like, if I don't need the whole shebang, if I could just have the ability to explode people's dicks, I would be happy. Like, I would like, I mean, that would be like not even dangerous. I would abuse that power to shit. Like, if people do like the drag and swoop every time I'm in club when people decide to like touch me without permission, boom, dick explosion. So I would appreciate that power.
All right, Jose.
Both of you guys are just crossing your legs now.
Mentally, actually, yes.
I think it's a toss up because of flying versus teleporting. There was one teleporter that the boys where he would lose his clothes, but in this show there was one where he apparently went with his clothes. So I like that version, but ultimately I think I would like to have just super strength with flight, so that way if I crash, I don't get hurt. I'd like to keep it simple.
I would actually going to go Godolkin's puppet master trick. Because
Oh,
honestly, most of the powers in the show, bar Marie's, are a bit shit. When I was watching this, I was just like, this reminds me, this is like the non funny version of Extraordinary, where everyone's got really shit powers. And ironically, that's kind of Godolkin's point this season. Cull the herd. I mean, Bee Lady. Right. She's part woman, part bee. And if she uses this thing, she dies, and
ah.
so do you. What's the point?
I mean that's nature though. That's just
Yeah,
nature.
but no, no,
And
no,
I was surprised you didn't mention the honey regurgitating. It's like, do you want some?
no.
Ugh. Ah.
Never. Just put me off honey for life,
Yeah.
Jose.
Right.
And right, before we move on to the good, the bad, and the what the fuck, what are our brief non-spoiler thoughts on Gen V Season 2?
I've honestly never been this disappointed. I mean, this has been the disappointment of the year.
Even more than Peacemaker.
Even more than Peacemaker. The thing about Peacemaker, it was fun. At least it was fun. This one wasn't even fun. Like, it had some great moments, but like it just didn't mesh well. I think they prioritized gross out humor over clever writing. Gross out humor is very important in the world of the boys. You expect those like holy shit moments, but it's met with clever writing, and that was missed for me. And yeah, I mean, I had so many issues with this season, and we will get into this. I think one thing, I think Gen V season one was such a delightful surprise. Like, I expected it to be bad, just because usually like sequel spin-offs aren't that great. So it was such a delight, and it was so good that I thought they would keep that momentum, and no, they just crashed and burned.
Jose, your brief non-spoiler thoughts. I mean, Marie hates it, so.
Yeah, I have to agree. There's some great moments in the show, but I feel like what they did was take the characters into directions that they didn't need to go. They really ham-fisted these messages where they were more subtly addressed in the first season, and then this season, the characters almost felt like caricatures of themselves. Like it just didn't make sense. Their reactions, and I mean, Jazz Sinclair, she did a great job of acting, but unfortunately the character's choices were fucking idiotic. Like the motivations were just stupid, and just yeah, it's the story itself, the idea is great, but just the execution was really annoying. So that's kind of where I was at. Like the last three episodes of just like, what the fuck are they thinking? just that's really what it came down to.
I mean, yeah, for me, I watched, I think, the first one, and then I didn't continue it for a good couple of weeks till I got really sick. And I was like, okay, I'll catch up on Gen V then. So already, where like last season, it was like, or like The Boys, you watch it every week, you watch it as soon as it's out. And I was like, already that first episode didn't have the pull for me. And then when I did finally binge myself back up to date on it, I was like, I did think it improved a bit in the middle. But then again, as we worked our way towards the end, same as you guys, it was such a lackluster finale for me. All right, so that brings us on to the good. And I guess this is going to be a record short good section. I'm going to ask Jose first because Jose hasn't seen the notes and doesn't know what me and Marie have down. Jose, what is your first good?
I like how they incorporated some of the characters from the main show, and it was nice to see that they're tying in the universe and showing that it's not just by mentioning that, oh yeah, we're in the same universe, obviously, but then they were able to interact with some of those main characters. I think that was pretty cool.
My first good, and I think this is similar to Marie's, the single best thing about the whole season was Hamish Linklater's performance as Dean Cypher. He was so fucking good, man.
Yes.
He was clever. He was charismatic. He was always not even one, like 4 steps ahead of everyone the whole way there. And again, if you've seen him, he's so good in Mike Flanagan's Midnight Mass. And again, here, he's just the best thing in the show. He also reminded me of Kilgrave from Jessica Jones.
Oh
Yes. I mean, there
yeah.
was a very similar scene with a blender.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, once we get his character reveal towards the end, it drops into the bad for me. So, Hamish Linklater, Dean Cypher, when we think he's Dean Cypher, good. The reveal, not so good.
Me, honestly, like I agree with that, but I actually was very surprised by Ethan Slater's performance as Godolphin. I really enjoyed it coming because I am a musical theater nerd, so I've only seen him in comedic roles. I mean, his most notable performance was playing SpongeBob in SpongeBob the Musical, and then he also is in Wicked. So I've usually seen him in theater roles, and him playing the villain actually really worked. The only downside was that it was like less than a 20-minute performance, but I actually really did enjoy his like villainous turn. He was really good at it, and I I was very surprised by it.
My only counterpoint to that is that I thought there was so much difference in his performance as Godolphin and Linklater's performance. They felt like completely different characters to me when they're
You know,
supposed to be the same person.
I was
To be
looking
honest,
out for
that
that.
is a fair point. To be honest, that is a fair point.
And like they said, that like he's much more musical theatre guy when you see him like as Godolphin, and Linklater as Cypher is just he's fucking hardcore, man. He doesn't have that messing around to him.
I was looking out for that, but I think part of it is the evolution of him not being in pain and being less restricted in terms of his focus.
Yeah, yeah, and
But I mean, it is different, but I
Mhm.
don't think it's in a jarring way.
Another good I can talk about here, and that was the number one good like from season one, is the flawless performance that London and Derek do for Jordan. In season one, that performance, it honestly, it took me a while to click if that they're two different people. I thought it was CGI, because it was so flawless. Like it genuinely, I just like, well, is the makeup good? And then I realized it's two different actors, and that like it because it's such a flawless performance of one
you're right,
person.
and
And when
that's
it
the right
comes
way of doing that.
to the to the Godolkins,
Yeah,
that wasn't the case. I completely agree with you there.
yeah,
That there were two completely different performances.
yeah, and like exactly like you said, like and the two Jordans, it is they you forget it.
Yeah,
It's two different people. They play it so well, and even from season one.
yeah.
So at least that continued here, which is good.
I don't know if it's just something that was even apparent in the first season, but in the second season, whenever Derek would be the Jordan, it was just annoying how bad his hair looked as a male versus when it was played by London. Like something about it, I'm just like, oh, it
I,
looks so bad on him. It's like obviously a wig, and you could tell London's hair was more real, or at least looks way better.
I to be honest, I actually agree with you, and that is one thing. I think this is where the cracks start to form, because in season 1, the both of them did not have the same hairstyle style.
Oh, they
Jordan,
didn't.
male presenting, had short hair. Jordan, female presenting, had long hair. Um,
Oh.
and for this one, they just kept the same length for both. And you can kind of make the argument that obviously, like, the season starts with them in prison, so the hair would have grown long, but it, like, then it was still, like, quite neatly cut. So I completely agree. It's that little flick that just didn't work. Derek is a very handsome dude, but it just did not work for him. I completely agree
Perhaps
with
it
you
was
there.
just a continuity thing. There's
Yeah.
like, it's going to be so much easier if we just keep give them the same haircut this season. My next good, Emma. She was my MVP of the season once again, despite what they do with her pointless love life storyline. But she had all the best lines of dialogue. She had a catchphrase. Now, let's fuck shit up is her catchphrase, which I like. And she had two minions. She had minions. She had girl whose power is going to be really handy once in the finale, whose name I can't remember, and Bushmaster.
Yeah. I agree with you, and that it's the only character that stayed consistent from season 1. All the other
Yes.
characters like did a 180. This one is the only one who stays consistent, in my
And
opinion.
I'd argue she actually improved because, like season one, she had the body dysmorphia issues, but again, it still wasn't explained how she took care of those in this season. It's just she can get big again, and she doesn't have to puke. Great, tell us why, because that was such a
Yep.
major plot point for her in season one, and they didn't do that here. But again, I mean, and her hanging in Cypher's toilet, he-
That
funniest scene of the
was
season.
you actually saw a guy's ball sack in that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that
That
burns.
was
Once again, another glorious image burnt into my brain forever because of the boys.
I mean, I think that actress, or her character at least, saw more ballsack and penises than any other character in the show. So where she goes into the changing room as well, because you warned me, you was like, "There's so many penises in the show." I was like,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be it," and just dicks everywhere.
Yeah.
One other good I've got was the Coffee Girl subplot, which we had for 2 episodes. It was really good. She was really good at showing how a human is terrified of the soups. This amount of screen time she had, I was like, oh, I can't remember her name, so she's just Coffee Girl. But and then it turns out it was Emma's minions who were putting up the signs, and I was like,
well
right,
before they were minions.
before they were minions, yes. But then after Emma finds it out, you don't even get a scene of her going back and telling her, oh yeah, it was my friends, they won't do it anymore. And you're like, that girl's whole plot thing was just dropped after
Hmm.
that. And I was like,
Mhm.
you spent so much time setting it up, and it was a good performance, and it was a great idea for the show. How was it like being a non-powered person working for the Soups who view you that way? I was like, this is a really interesting plot thread, and we've forgotten about it. Oh, I did also have Stacey, the snarky bee lady, who I mentioned negatively earlier, but she was quite fun. She reminded me of like a mini Ashley. She had kind of an Ashley vibe.
And then they dropped her.
Yeah. I think we're like veering into the bad here. Like
I think I like that they were using different powers and showing that it's part of the major plot that some powers aren't good and some are just weird and maybe a little too much of the anus portal apparently because they didn't explain it until I think the end that it was like, oh, it's a portal to some other place.
I don't think they even explained it then.
Oh,
It's
did
I
they
just thought
explain
it
it?
was like a storage.
yeah, it's like an alternate dimension thing. Like his
So
superpower
Peacemaker.
nickname is like black hole. I think it's
Yeah.
like it is. But yeah, no. I mean, we're still in the good section, so we'll
We're still in the good,
But
Jose. We're
table
still in
that
the
for
good.
now.
But I did like that they were trying new things with
You liked
different
the butt stuff.
characters and different powers, and so that was fun to watch. Regardless of the outcomes at the end, but it was refreshing because like it gets you to be more creative with using those powers.
I feel I refer you back to my extraordinary thing where I thought most of the powers were pretty shit. Now, one thing I did like, they did try and let the actors grieve on screen for the loss of Chance Padama's character, Andre, and you can obviously see they are really using that emotion because whenever there was a scene when they were talking about him, you were like, wow, you could see the weight of that loss on them. And so whenever those scenes, whenever they were talking about it, like when Polarity is talking to all of them about it, you could really see, oh shit, these guys they're really processing it on screen as it's being filmed. And at least it was not nice, but it was a good way for them to probably get that out and deal with it. So I thought that was quite nice how they did that. Also, it was nice to see Stan Edgar again and Newman's squid-faced murder daughter. I always have time for Giancarlo Esposito because he's usually a villain, and I was like, he wasn't as villainous here. I will say, political commentary was spot on again. I liked Firecrackers Fox TV shows.
I mean, that's from The Boys, though. That's.
Oh yes, but it's obviously still in this show. So I liked how they did that, and then obviously the way they did the UFC style fight between Jordan and Marie later on. And again, they're just you look at it going, how can people actually say this? And then think, oh no, people say this in the real world. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not that far. I think that's the problem with the boys has encountered is that and Gen V is that the real world has got so close to it that it just blends horrifically.
Yeah. They could be similar like headlines. Like it's not. Yeah, it's a documentary at this point.
I think the boys and Gen V as a part of association is like the backside of the Andor coin. Andor is like a little more polished and nuanced, and then Gen V and the boys is just in your face and aggressive about it.
I wouldn't compare them at all, mate. They're completely different shows, and
The opposite coin. There's still commentary.
like Andor was like prestige, really well written sci-fi, and the boys in Gen V are like comic book shit
Gory, yeah.
blowing up, literal shit blowing up.
But they still have the same
So
commentary. So they're just on the opposite sides of the coin in terms of like how they
the comment. Sorry, mate. Yeah, the commentary. Yeah, no.
commentary. Yes.
Wake up, Neil. Been a long day in the office. Shit.
Yes.
One thing I will actually say I liked from the finale, and it's the only positive I can find from the finale, is that in theory, Godolkin's plan was actually not a bad idea. Like, get powerful enough to control Marie to beat Homelander.
To control
Okay,
Marie?
Yeah,
so
not
then
me.
she can control.
That is what her name was.
You forgot the main character named after our co-host.
I was looking at
Fine.
Jazz Sinclair.
And
I'm
moving
like,
on, the only thing, and I think the single greatest thing the season provided us all was Elon Musk getting blown up.
The goat. I have to say, yeah. I think I put that in the group chat. Like this is the best joke of the season. I do really enjoy that, especially when they were like, "That's why we named them after bad people."
yeah.
Yeah, loved it. All right, well, that was a short as expected version on the good. Although I found a few more little things that I did like that I'd forgotten about. So clearly, I didn't make that much of an impression. And now we're on to the bad. Set your watches, people. We could be here a while.
I mean, no, my longest section is the what the fuck because
Okay,
That's true. Can I do my first bad then?
go knock yourself out, Jose.
I just think that having the guest stars come in just a little too much was taken away from the power of the main characters in this show. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I think that you want these characters to kind of breathe on their own.
I don't think there was too much of it. We had obviously, just off the top of my head, we had Giancarlo Esposito turn up for a few episodes. You had a bit of Firecracker in the background, and obviously you had a few cameos in the finale.
Yeah.
But bar that, no one really jumps out at me as like there was more cameos in season one than I think we got in here. One thing I didn't like was Doug and the reveal of Doug because you've got this brilliant character Hamish Sling that's been playing as Dean Cypher, and he's revealed as Doug. Now look again, great performance because immediately like, oh, he's a completely fucking different person. So again, it's just really good acting by Hamish Slingletter. And then Black Noir just turns up and kills him. Marie, your first bad.
for me, I mean, it was like the writing really let down the season. The character motivations and to like steal David's point from our Alien episode, it was basically because the plot required it. Like this happens because the plot required it, and that was like so evident from the season. I don't know, I kind of called Peacemaker directionless, but at least it had kind of a focus. This one I generally did not know where they were headed. And if you think about like season 1, like all the threads they had up in the air and all the different layers, and how it all came together, here nearly every single character is useless other than Marie. No one like contributes, has a significant contribution to the plot. Like all the other characters are just there, nothing happens. It's actually like the writers of South Park once said this: when it comes to good writing, the difference between writing like a good episode and like transitioning between the scenes are the words and then and therefore. If you go and then this happens, that is shit writing. If you go this happens therefore this happens, that is good writing. And everything here was and then and then and then. Like, just how the season starts, it doesn't make sense.
It's one of those shows, isn't it, where if you looked at what happens over the course of the season, none of it makes any sense. And there's a lot of shows like that, sadly, these days.
Yeah, it's just because the character motivations, as you pointed out, the same thing like with Emma. Like Emma's like gets her masters her power just like that.
Off
Like
screen.
suddenly she can do it. Same with Sam. Sam does like suddenly he's no longer crazy. Like he like
Well,
I
I mean,
mean no,
he
but
controls himself better.
he controls himself better
and it's not explained.
and it's not explained.
It's a throwaway line. He's on different meds, but
Yeah,
it was
okay.
implied.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that because it is pointed out that Sam is schizophrenic. It has nothing to do with his superpowers. That it's a genetic thing
Yeah, oh yeah, from his family, yeah. I
from
remember
his
that, yeah.
family. Getting the right medication for that takes months. Like it's like figuring out the proper course for that. It doesn't happen from scene to scene. So him just saying, "Oh, I found a pill and suddenly I'm not schizophrenic anymore," that does not work.
He was getting help from Kate, and he was struggling, and then all of a sudden, the next couple episodes, he's having a love triangle with and it's like, where
Yeah,
is
let's
this
talk
coming
about that.
from?
So Emma has a new crush who's literally a big guy who can fly and is the older brother of one of her minions. That is his character. That is all he does. Sam gets jealous. Please, people, no poorly developed love triangles here, please. That was terrible. I mean, it
No,
wasn't terrible. It wasn't around enough to be as
Yeah,
wasn't
annoying
around
as
enough.
what
But the
Marie's
thing
going to
is,
mention later.
there's also I saw so many theories online where everyone's like, oh, he's definitely a spy for Cypher because like there otherwise there would be no reason for him to be there. He wasn't a spy or anything. And
yeah.
I think, and we've mentioned this before, it's all these plot threads that they introduced and then never followed through. Like we mentioned Bee Sting Lady. Apparently they did have like a resolution for her, like where she like dies in like an epic confrontation, but the actress wasn't available. I'm sorry, but that is just poor planning.
It's
That is
terrible.
like
Yeah.
that. No, I've only ever worked on one TV series, but still, like I kind of have an idea how this works. And like just saying like, oh yeah, we had this idea, but the actress wasn't available. I'm like, no, that's on you.
Yeah.
Also, one other thing, way too many penises in the show as usual. Just way too many. We
I
don't
mean,
need to
that's
see
the
that many.
boys. I mean, we kind of expect it.
I mean, you clearly need to stay away from Euphoria.
I
So.
am never watching Euphoria,
Yeah,
Jose, because I
same.
am way too old for it.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
mind. Sorry, I don't mind the penises. I mean, it's fine. I've expected it with the boys. You could cut that out because that's going to get clipped out of context.
Yeah. I don't mind the penis.
Highlight teaser.
I thought as well it was a really poor way to write off Andre and Chance Perdomo. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the solution is to that problem,
Mhm.
but killing them off screen was not the way to go either.
I completely agree with you. But the thing is, like, unfortunately, they were like almost like forced into a corner there. But I also agree that also like how they did it and how the characters find out about it just did not work.
So I have to say though, it just seems like they might have had Chance Perdomo as a larger part of the story.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, definitely.
and-
No. That was the case.
It just I feel like the amount that it took away from the rest of the show, it just feels really evident because
Oh, yeah.
the way that the characters interact just seems so off. Like Jordan Lee just seems like a shell of a character compared to the first season. They go from being such a confident and strong top 3 student, and then just so
Well, technically, they become number one in season 2, Jose.
yeah, but like
Y-
what we see is just
why?
not that. That's just
yeah, I completely
it's
agree
really
with you.
disappointing.
One other thing I've got is I completely forgot that Marie had a sister, and then I was like, "Wait, was she superpowered? Did we know she was superpowered before?"
No, we did. We didn't know she was super powered. It was a sister, and it was one of Marie's main motivations of season 1 to be in
Yeah.
touch with her sister. But that again kind of shows just the lackluster writing because, like, I
Yeah.
don't think Cypher knew she was a soup eater, and that does not.
Well, I
make
wasn't.
sense.
I wasn't sure when that happened. Like,
Yeah, exactly, and also just because Marie, like the whole the whole point of Odessa was that Marie was a born soup, just like Homelander, and then maybe you can argue that the parents didn't want her sister to be left out. So they decided to give her V as a baby the other way. I do not know, but then Cypher probably would have known about that. It's just
Following on from that, it really made they bring her in it and then immediately fridge her to bring her
Yes.
back.
Oh,
And what
geez,
made it
yeah.
weird for me though, right? It's weird that the two sisters' relationship really wasn't that central a plot arc to the show. Her sister's death was just a MacGuffin set by Cypher to get Marie to reach her full potential.
yeah.
And then even after that, they didn't have that many scenes where you like. I was like, your sisters, long estranged sisters, your plot line, your story should be one of the key things in the show now.
Yeah.
And again, she is this, and what's her power? She can tell when things are going to happen. So what? But
Yeah.
she's really bad at it because like, isn't even there that line when you go, well, you didn't see that going to happen, did you?
Yeah, it's basically Alice from Twilight, which I know neither of you have watched, but that's her power.
Girl, don't underestimate my watching abilities. I've watched all the movies, unfortunately. I just only read 2 of the books. So, you can talk Twilight to me.
Jose, my shaming you knows no bounds.
I mean, I read and watched them as a teenage girl, so like I can be
Exactly.
excused.
Jose watched those and read those as an adult man.
I had a sister who was a big fan. She bought all the books. I tried to keep up with the first 2
I don't
books, and
blame your
after that, I
sister,
was
Jose. You love Twilight, and that's fine. It's fine. We're not
yeah.
casting
It's
judgment.
alright.
Do you remember when Kate murdered a bunch of people in hospital by accident? Because the show didn't.
Well, they knew what was going on with her. Like she's on Homelander's side. Like
No,
she
but
only
she isn't. That's again character motivation. She went from going soups are superior beings to just guys, can we please be friends? Like it just did not work. And maybe like a way to explain that is like if we like reflected on her treatment within VOT, and when she like spent time in VOT, she realized, oh shit, this is a capitalistic machine and they don't even care about people. And that's how she suddenly realized. But that's again never touched upon. The only thing we know is that like her movie or TV show sucked that she
oh
did
yeah.
with Sam.
yeah. Yeah. I think it was the movie. But so that leading into the second half of the series, which is for me where it really dropped off. Like the first half, I was kind of taking it as it was going, but Marie and Kate's situation, where especially the last 2 episodes where Kate's like, "Hey, you can heal me, I can help you." It's like, "I don't trust you." Then why the fuck did you try to break her out? Oh, because she deserves to be broken. No, if you hated her, you should have left her to rot. That
Right?
was the stupidest balance of like decisions I've ever saw, and I was literally so upset about that. It's like,
It's almost like they didn't know. Okay, we need a big shocking turn with a couple of the kids in the finale. Let's
mhm,
turn Sam and Kate. Oh, now how do we get them back to be part of the gang in season 2?
mhm.
For reasons, because there was no reasons
Yes,
given.
for reasons, and it was just ridiculous. And like, oh, finally she heals her eventually, but I'm just like, at this point, it wasn't earned. It was like
But
No,
you
no
should
no.
have.
one should have trusted Kate or Sam in that whole second season. I know they tried getting around with it by them accidentally thinking they'd killed her in the first episode,
Yeah.
but
No.
no,
It,
exactly.
And they really didn't show her struggling much. I mean, there was moments, but like
There's the
having one
blender
hand,
scene, which was probably the highlight for her in the season. That was
yeah,
yeah.
but
probably
I
her
mean,
best moment.
but there wasn't really any motivations for her to really turn like that. Like Marie said, there's just it's just very superficial ideas that for plot device they go through this. I think this is obviously Marie's journey as being someone who can overcome the villain, but in a way, I think a little bit got taken away when Polarity came in at the end to kind of quote unquote save her because she was already taken over. He comes in, saves her, but then, oh, okay, we're gonna stop him, and then she finally explodes. Um, I don't know. It just didn't seem like hundred
Yeah, the
percent there.
whole like I mean, I completely agree. To be honest, Marie has me a little bit worried. Uh
Is it weird talking about yourself in the third person?
it is because
Yes.
honestly, I know I worry you guys quite a lot as well. Like first of all, like her like breaking out in Almyra and leaving everyone behind makes zero sense. Because in season 1, she's looking for somewhere to belong and to be with, and like she finally found that found family, and then her just turning their back on to them just out of nowhere makes no sense. Like I get like if because she's very ambitious, if she sees the opportunity to escape, she will take it, but she will try to like find a way to break them out. When they break into Cypher's little dungeon to like bring back Godolkin. Like,
Fight room.
and then her like turning on all the other people again made no sense. Like, just like her attacking them and in like the
And
most
she's
like,
never been much of a good fighter. Like, where did
yeah,
that come from?
Got no control of her powers, no.
Like,
exactly. And then sun control. Like, again, it was the writing. If they could have, like, you know what would have been an obvious thing to say? Hey, Cypher can
Montage.
no, Cypher
Training
can
montage.
no, an obvious thing would have been she says, hey, you know what? Cypher can control people. If we go in there, he's gonna control us. So maybe we should keep a distance. That would have made sense to keep the people away. And instead of Marie attacking her friends, they could have moved on. What worries me about Marie is the fact that, like, and they've already said that she's gonna be playing a key role in the final season of The Boys. I'm gonna be so fucking disappointed if she's the one who takes down Homelander.
That is in my what the fuck.
That is not earned. If they do that, I'm gonna be pissed.
her being literally told you're one of two people who is this special soup.
Bullshit. There's way more soups out there. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, but like there's a scene like a little bit after that where she's in her dorm room. It's like, oh, I guess we're going back to just being little old me, regular girl. And I'm like, are you? No, they literally just told you you're one of two who's the most powerful soup, and you're like pretending like, oh, you're not a big deal. Like literally, people are telling you this, and you're just acting like you're not a big deal. Like this is so poorly written, and just even that like concept, it just pissed me off.
So my final bad is Jordan's speech where they tell the truth about everything. It was just so stupid and out of nowhere, and then completely torpedoes all their plans.
It makes
And you,
no
the thing is, you
sense.
could see it coming a mile off as well. You're like, no, don't. Oh,
It it makes no sense, and it's so because that is their only significant contribution in the series, and it was such a stupid choice. And they're not stupid.
okay then. Let's move on to, and this is also going to be a lengthy session. What the fuck? And for me, my main what the fuck from the show is the finale, which sucked worse than Peacemakers. I mean, I was up on Alien Earth, but I know you guys weren't as big a fan of it. This is the worst finale of a show that I was watching and enjoying all season.
Biggest disappointment. There we go.
So, wait, Sage planned everything because
Well,
reasons.
because again,
I mean, I call bullshit on that straight away. Right, yeah. So she apparently planted information about Odessa for Annie to find, which then makes her send Marie back to school ahead of the premiere, and then things unfolded exactly to her plan? Really? Everything that happened, she planned for? Bullshit.
no.
I mean, that
That
I think is
again is just
reasonable.
lazy writing. Cypher kills her sister to push her. So he knew she would like bring back her sister to life, but then he didn't know she would escape because then like her escaping I thought he would
True.
know she escaped. I thought
Yeah,
that was again
yeah.
part of the plan. But then he got the phone call and he was very pissed. And I'm like, what's happening here?
And then Godolkin's Battle Royal in the finale, he announces it to the whole school, right? And they're like, oh, don't go, don't go. Like there's 10 kids there from the whole school. I was
Yeah.
expecting there to be like just
A
mass
lecture hall.
slaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a
And
stadium
like
full.
loads of people there. I'm still on the what the fucks because there are loads. I'm going to leave Jordan and Marie's break up to you, Marie, because that's your main one.
Did they?
Oh my god! Don't even joke with her, Jose. Don't joke with her. One other thing I
Oh,
didn't
man, I
like:
wasn't paying attention then. Sorry.
Captain Marvel's Starlight scene at the end was so bad.
It was so bad.
And like you said, Marie, you were just like, they don't even look like they're in the same location.
I genuinely thought it was a stand-in. I thought like because they couldn't get the actors together, I thought it was a stand-in because it honestly looked like Annie was talking to air. Like it didn't look like anything. It and then I saw a photo of the shoot day where they're all posing together and I was like, "Holy wait, they were actually in the same room?" It
So that's
was
just bad
terrible
directing,
directing
bad blocking.
camera angles because they did this all awkward over the shoulder shot and I thought they shot it that way to show that it wasn't the actress actually standing there, it was a stand-in. But no, because I even googled it, apparently she was there for the whole thing.
Oh, also, I forgot that A Train has switched sides again because I was like, wait, what's A Train doing? That's just my memory,
That's
and
you.
that's just me watching The
Yeah,
Boys. Yeah,
I honestly think they had to really scrap the ending because, like I said, when they were leaving the campus, there was a moment with Polarity where she was saying goodbye, and you could just tell that was like either a blue screen or. And I think that something happened that where they had to probably scrap the ending and rewrite it, other than um, the death. I because obviously that's near the end of the storyline. But something is just it's weird how they had to really shift gears because even when they were on the road and then they were stopping to pee, like they have like 8 people in their posse and like they're in a SUV. It's really weird.
one thing I forgot actually from the bad way, it's kind of going on what the fuck. The fights and the visual. This actually comes on to like the staging and directing that we've just mentioned.
Hmm.
The fights really seem to lack something this year, like maybe direction, budget.
Yeah.
You think about The Boys, and even in its worst episodes, there is always a memorable action, something exploding horrifically scene. Most episodes, I really had to try and think of anything that stood out in this season. It's almost funny. It's like gesture with your hands, and then people fall over and something explodes. I mean, Cypher Godolkin even jokes about it, but the show still does it. It's like, oh yeah, it's good to use a hand. Yeah, it works with a hand. I was like,
It
fuck
just
off.
works.
It's off, like the fact that the biggest action set piece that we got involved people coming out of someone's butt kind of shows the quality of this season.
Or the song and dance number that he then
Yeah.
decided to make them do.
I mean, I again, that confused me because I thought, oh, Ethan Slater is a musical theater background. They're gonna have him sing here, which wouldn't have made much sense, but it would have made sense in the
More
context of
sense.
having Ethan Slater there because they were like, okay, we might as well. We have someone off Broadway, we might as well. But no, it just, yeah, no. But
And also, Godolkin Sponge Pants, he was set up, right? So you've seen him be as Hamish Linktaker. You've seen him be clever, you've seen him plan, you've seen blah, 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 all this. And then the second he gets his body back, he becomes a fucking idiot. Like,
I wouldn't
gorges
say
himself on.
idiot, but
I
Dude,
wouldn't.
his whole
I
plan was to take over and do that. And even he then challenges everyone to come in. He was knackered, and you saw his legions start appearing on his arms. So you're like,
mhm.
dude, you're doing it too fast. But there was nothing that never went anywhere. And then Marie just exploded. It was like the second he got his body back, and like has a quickie with Sage, eats a lot of food.
I mean, that kind of makes sense, like being, like Sage says, touch starved. But his entire plan, in my opinion, does not make sense. Also, the whole culling the herd thing, dude, that is your problem. You created a subpar product. Like, like you don't know how V works. Like V unlocks something, and you cannot control what kind of superpowers people think. You would think he would actually like focus more on creating a V that will like create the superpowers that you want instead of being a random lottery. That would have made more sense. The thing about Godolkin, he is a genuinely good villain, but they only came up with him for this season. It's very obvious. Like if you think about him like being around for what 100 years, you would think he would have continued to assert his control in Godolkin University, not chill somewhere else. Like where was he all this time?
None
Like
of it makes any sense, Marie.
it's exactly, but uh, yeah, where was he the whole time? Like like we knew the Cipher persona was involved with Odessa and was there, but then again he disappeared. I think he would have like at least been on the board of directors at Godolton University or something, like still kept some sort of control in the school.
What surprised me is like they kind of alluded to Cypher being old because he was holding Marie as a baby, looking exactly the same. All they did was like, "Oh, I was the second one." What I'm like, did he change his look? It just was really weird how it looked like it was the
Oh,
same
he did.
guy,
It
but
was a
then
different body. But they did say Cypher can age. And I was just like, can he?
yeah, it didn't make sense.
The fact none of us can remember what the hell was going on or why, it just shows you how bad the writing is.
I mean, yeah, no, because they did say Cypher can age. And like, I genuinely thought, again, yeah, I mean, what,
I
Marie
just
is
thought it was because he
20
took the V.
years?
Viewers, if you can help us explain that, please comment on that one because that one I was just like, it didn't make sense.
I've found one positive in the finale, and it ends with a great song, a Nine Inch Nails song, "The Hand That Feeds."
I knew you were gonna mention music. I knew it was gonna
Yep.
be
No,
something that you
he
were
only
gonna
mentions
mention.
music when he likes the music. He was very against the music in Peacemaker. I missed you there,
Yeah.
Jose, because I knew you would have
Those
pointed
bands
that
sucked.
out.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't beat though. And as good as like using Nine Inch Nails, "The Hand That Feeds," the song's really good. the end of The Boys season 4 finale when they use Nirvana's heart-shaped box. Oh my god, it's
See,
an
that's when he
all-timer for me.
remembers season 4 of The Boys.
Oh yeah, because dude, I could tell you what scene connects to what lyric in that because it's done so well. All right, Marie, are you ready? We've cleared the floor.
Stop fucking with my gaze. Why the fuck did they break up Jordan and Marie? Anything to do with Jordan and Marie in this season did not work. I honestly, it honestly was such a gut punch because Jordan and Marie have been since season 1 have been one of my favorite queer couples on screen. They are such a good queer couple, and it was and they're one of the most I love them to death. And this season, what the fuck happened? First of all, they start the season with them being broken up. Why? Why the fuck? Why? Why? We went from and off screen. We went from you see we're good for each other to abandoning them in jail, which makes no sense. Then they get together. They say they are love yous, but again, the chemistry just felt off. If it weren't technically 3 different actors, I would have thought they had a falling out. Like they had hardly any scenes together, and then the scenes they together, it looked like they had a restraining order because they were so distant. The scene before the fight honestly drove me crazy. It drove me on because if you think about it, they're about to fight each other. They love each other. They just confessed some hardships, and they're sitting so far apart from each other. Like if you're in that moment with someone you love, what do? You hold their hand. You put your head on their shoulder. You comfort them. You show some sort of affection towards them, and nothing. I just dude, just hug, do something. It just drove me crazy. And then it all leads to that fucking breakup. That breakup was so bad that I had in my notes, oh, I bet you it's Godolkin controlling Jordan and making them break up with Marie in order to, again, emotionally manipulate her further.
I mean, that would have been a better idea, right?
Because it was
It would have explained it.
Yeah, because it was so badly written. It came out of nowhere. The line, oh, we can still be friends, I was just like, oh, that makes sense for a guy from the 50s to say. So it has to be the Godolkin controlling them. Yeah, that's an old man saying.
Yeah, that was one of my points actually on this. Was that there's suddenly Jordan's like, right, we need to. I hope we can be friends. But they didn't. When they split up, they didn't split up. They were still together on the run. So it made no sense doing it at that point. It would have made some semblance of sense if they'd split up and gone separate ways because they couldn't bear to. It's too hard. If they just had a scene and go, and it's still bullshit. But if they'd been like, oh, it's too hard trying to be friends, I can't do, which every show does that bollocks. And they would have, Marie goes off there, Jordan goes off that direction. That at least is a bit more understandable. But they split up and they're still together on the run. That made no sense to me.
Which I think they're building up to a dramatic resolution. They're just trying to they split them up just for attention.
Season 3, they're going to be back together and we'll have missed it because it'll have happened off screen.
No, it's gonna happen in the Boys finale.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell
so
you. And this is a prediction. It's gonna happen in the season 5 of the Boys. It honestly drove me crazy. And even their final scene together, they even share a look, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're gonna be getting back together." And I'm like, "Yes, why?" It was just so badly written, and even just there was so much in season 1 they could have touched upon, and I wanted them to touch upon. Not only the fact that they were extremely adorable and cute in season 1. One thing I noticed that in season 1, that every time they kissed, Jordan was in his male presenting form. That is such an interesting thing, and I would have loved it to be addressed hey, by the way, you don't have to be a dude every time you kiss me.
Did they change in season 2 at one point?
No. In season 2, it did change, and it was and they did have the line "Do you like me even like this?" But I just wanted more. I wanted connection. I wanted something, not just one throwaway line. And it drove me crazy.
And I don't think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this, Marie, I don't think it's necessarily they're doing it because they're the gay characters, therefore we have to put them through endless trauma. Because it seems no character in the show is able to be in a healthy, happy relationship. None of them, no one is.
I mean, I think it's still.
And ironically, and ironically, Jordan and Marie were the closest to a proper couple we had on the show. And then they were like, "Oh no, can't be happy." It's almost like the "He Who Should Not Be Named" from Buffy days. It's no, the second the character gets together and they're happy, we must inflict trauma upon them, and they can't, and because people don't want to watch people being happy on screen.
But even it's just that argument doesn't even work because the characters are going through shit already. Like, there's no point in just throwing another wrench in the matter. Like, it should have been them against the world.
And the relationship would actually be what helps them get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably didn't want to see Sam and Emma get back together, but if they were on the run, you could kind of see it.
That relationship never. No, it honestly, it did it made sense, but still gave me the ick in season 1, just because, you know, him being like locked away from society for so long, and then also her being a puppet while they fucked is just not work. Like,
and there's a clip for the trailer.
But how the fuck did then they present a more healthier relationship in season 2? Because like them having an actual conversation in Sam Edgar's house and like having that moment to air shit out, that actually that worked really well. And then I respected Emma going, "Yep, nope, sorry, not into you anymore, bye."
Even though Emma said no to everybody, and then she kisses the flyboy, and I'm like,
yeah, but then she knew she was leaving, so she's like, why not?
Yeah, it was just everyone seemed very indecisive in their motivations. Just in general, when Godolkin escapes, and everyone's just like, "Oh well, I guess we're going back to our dorms and changing." And
but I knew that was going to happen, man. I knew this was what this show was going to do. They end the season, big cliffhanger. They're all in a secret ward, and he's like, right, but the whole show is set in a college. So somehow, by the end of that first episode, they need to be back at the college.
And that's not really the problem. It's just that there was no urgency.
There's no urgency. I get what Jose's saying. Like, they're just chilling. They're just chilling in a dorm room after like Godolkin escapes and this big massive bombshell gets dropped off. And again, Jordan is nowhere to be seen in that scene. Like, it's just like I was again
restraining order. Just getting a restraining order.
I was just like, what? And then they suddenly just randomly walk in, and I'm just like, where the fuck were you guys?
Another small part is the sister. She's like, "Oh, there, you can change down the hall in the bathroom." I'm like, don't girls usually change in front of themselves? Like, I mean, that's kind of weird to say out loud, but like, why couldn't her sister just change in the room? Like, did they just need to get rid of the character for a little bit? See, it's little things that bug me.
No one has ever asked that question, I'm assuming, Jose.
I don't know.
I get your point where you're saying like, yeah,
thank you.
They needed to get rid of the character. But no, we don't. I like my privacy, Jose. I prefer to change in the bathroom.
All right, but I mean, aren't they afraid for her safety? Is what I'm saying. Like, and
I completely agree. I completely agree when they just say, okay, yeah,
and they all split up. Like, hey, let's all split up to find this. I'm like, that's the worst thing you could do. Like,
right. I want to ask
and if you spoil
how they're
going
to link Gen V to the boys' final season, because this worries me massively. Because the comic book ending is great. Does anyone here know the comic book ending? I will not. And all I will say is, although they've made a lot of changes from the original graphic novel, they can still easily go with the same ending because it is a fucking brilliant ending. So yeah, the Gen V cast will get something to do in season 5 of The Boys because they're clearly planning more seasons of the show, right? And also, there is no way anyone, and I'm sorry, I don't buy Marie as a threat to take down Homelander after 2 seasons of Gen V. And honestly, it needs to be The Boys to take down Homelander. It just needs to be. That's the whole point of the show. Or stick with the comic ending, which is also excellent, and I won't spoil here. Do we think actually this is the end of Gen V and that the characters will just cameo in season 5 of The Boys and then that's it? Because I can't see where these characters go. I mean, there is no way for them. And again, we call bullshit on it immediately. Oh wait, big world consequences happen in season 5 of The Boys, and then they're expected to go back to college for season 3 again. College set shows have a really tough time doing it.
Again, I think they came up with Elmira for season 2 because season 1 ended. They were clearly locked away in Vought Tower. So I thought that the boys would find them locked away in Vought Tower, and that's how they would team up. I thought that was the future of them. Then they threw another season in the mix. To be honest, they have been. I really did like how they integrated Sam and Kat in season 4 of The Boys. It was, I think, beyond a cameo, but it's still not there to be like main characters. The best way to do it is, I mean, and no one has ever been able to replicate this, including Marvel themselves, is Avengers Endgame, where they had everyone together, but in the end it was still Iron Man who took down Thanos. You saw the side characters, they played a part, but in the end it was the core Avengers who delivered the final blow.
So what you're going to tell us is a butt storage boy is going to get his slow motion shot in the finale.
No, I really hope we will
and then
never ever
the
see him again.
That's the portal scene for The Boys season 5.
No, on your left.
Just everyone.
I mean, we've moved on, but again, the amount that scene does not make sense. Why did Kate have the guard open the door for Marie, but not the rest of them? Why did they have to come through the butt? Why? It does not make sense. And it took an awful long time. That scene went on forever. And then also,
how did they not be controlled by?
Exactly, because it took so long. Like
the safety of the butt.
The safety of the butt, but he could have controlled butt, dude. It does not make sense.
It does not make sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
I think that these characters will make extended cameos in terms of they'll be integrated in the story a little bit more. They'll be like
extended cameos, because if they're in it too much, the fans of The Boys will be like, why are you putting these people in our show?
Yeah.
You need to remember that the majority of The Boys cast is currently locked up. Like, that's how season 4 ended. So I think like it's gonna start with a prison break, and that's where the Gen V cast is gonna play more of a bigger role. But once we get the core cast back,
they are very good at breaking out of prisons.
Yeah.
Can we get something more than just a sketch of a U on a piece of paper? Like, that was fucking ridiculous. That's their sketch of the prison break.
Don't remember that.
Seriously, like, it's just like this. And we're going to break in here. I'm like,
maybe there could be a Boys sequel series that combines elements of the two casts together past the end of the storyline of The Boys season 5 in the comic books. I mean, The Boys has been...
The Boys Mexico coming.
Oh,
what? With Diego Luna.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I've completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
As most people. Marie's power. You know, I know what your power is. You're the rememberer.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing I'm very hopeful is The Boys has always had solid writing, and I feel like the Gen V did not have the same type of writers. Or I
think season 1 did. Season 2.
Maybe season 2 they even did. I don't know what went wrong.
No, I mean, I think only so much can be laid upon the death of Chance Perdomo, but like something major happened where you can just tell the last 2 episodes.
It could have literally been because of his death and having to push everything back. It just gave them less time to do everything, and whatever got chucked out first was what they had to go with. And it becomes that industry thing of, well, we either cancel the whole show or we have to do it now. So it's do it now when it's not ready, or do nothing. I've probably some kind of combo of that. I'd guess.
I would love to have seen the original script because, like to see like
we might find out someday once the shows are over. We get the writers.
I think the upside is that they did know that these characters would come into The Boys, so I feel like they're going to be ready with that.
Look, The Boys has been one of Prime's biggest hits. It has. I think Gen V hasn't been as big a hit as The Boys has been. And here's the question, right? If season 5 goes how we guess it's going to be, and it's about everyone taking down Homelander, will people want a Boys-style show without a character without Homelander in it? And also, the problem we have as well now is fans of the show and Homelander have only just realised with season 4 of The Boys that they are being portrayed as the villains. You know which kind of people I'm talking about, Jose?
Yes, all too well.
No big surprise that season 4 of The Boys was review bombed to hell compared to the previous seasons when suddenly people realized, oh wait, they're taking the piss out of us.
Well, I mean, we spoke about this when we reviewed The Boys last
Yeah.
year. But were we watching the same show? I still don't understand. I mean, the delusions of grandeur that these people find themselves in is like insane
Yeah.
to me.
My problem is there an appetite for any more of this world that one so clearly echoes ours now that it's so close that it's not even satire anymore? And also, there's going to be such a negative. You see it in like everything now. Media that is against that kind of view is getting so much shit on from everywhere in a minute, and I just don't know whether they do it.
I see what you mean. You're saying that it's like it hits too close to home. I mean,
Yeah, oh
that's
yeah.
why I stopped watching Grey's Anatomy during COVID. I was just like, nope. Our entire life is a medical drama right now. I cannot be. But I still think like it is. But it would be. I mean, you raised a very interesting point. The boys' world without Homelander. I mean, that is. I mean, Gen V worked, but it worked because it had like it worked, but then again, it had the amazing Homelander cameo at the end.
So I think I'm gonna be the optimistic one, saying the writing for the boys was
It's
solid.
better.
It's and if it was a little bit weaker, I'd be more worried. But because the boys, and it does go off of a main storyline set up from the comics. But again, we proved with season one Gen V, we can lead off without Homelander. Yes, there was that cameo at the end, but I don't think it was crucial. We could cut off that last 5 minutes and still kind of go into different territory. I think just the writing for this year, something happened.
Gen V does have a different showrunner and set of writers than the boys.
Hmm.
And I think Eric Kripke is like, their kind of the star. I mean, the thing is as well, he likes to walk away from a franchise after 5 seasons because he's the guy who did Supernatural, and we all remember Supernatural back in the day, right? You must have watched it, Jose.
No.
With your favorite actor, Jensen Ankles.
Doesn't that explain it? The fact that I say Jensen Ankles instead of his name properly.
I just thought that was your
Well, I mean, it is.
encumbering
I say
memory issues.
sandwich as well instead of
Yeah,
sandwich.
that's definitely. You should see a doctor. You should see a doctor. But yeah, Kripke, he walked away from Supernatural after season 5. He's like, I've got a 5 season arc. This is what I want to do, and then he completed it. The problem, and it was brilliant. It got better and better and better, and season 5 was fucking superb. The problem is because it was so good, the ratings were going through the roof, higher and higher than it'd ever been, and the CW was like, so we want to make more seasons of this show. It ended up running another 10 years. That is one of the reasons Jensen Ankles never got to become Captain America because he auditioned for it apparently, or was in the running for it, and then they wouldn't let him out of his contract. And so Eric
Yeah.
Kripke was like, "I'm really sorry. You get to be the anti-Captain America though in the boys. You're now
There you
Soldier
go.
Boy." So that was like his thank you to him for doing that. Another thing with Kripke, I think he's done with the boys after like any of the spin-offs after this, because like we were saying about the political stuff, it's obvious to us, and it's only become recently obvious to some people. Well, not even obvious. It's only recently some people, some fans of the show have only recently become aware of what the show is. And Kripke, since season 5 is recorded and in the can, has been a lot more outspoken with his political beliefs than he probably was allowed to be in earlier seasons. So I think he's done and he's walked after this. Final thoughts on the season. Is it a recommendation, and what would you give it out of 5, Jose?
It's funny because I'm not even sure I could recommend it. It's like
Right? Yeah.
I
This
I
could be our
honestly,
first don't recommend it.
yeah. I mean, you'd probably only want to watch some. It's like, why would you force someone to watch it? But you have to because you know the characters are going to be in the boys. But
But
it's like,
even if they are in the boys, I don't think this is gonna
yeah,
explain
Explain it.
anything. Like it's like you.
yeah,
The boys will do their own retconning.
Yeah,
Kripke will
exactly.
think
If
of a
you
way to bring
yeah.
don't
it in.
watch the
Better.
season, will you be missing out?
I mean, I hate to do it because it was entertaining at times, but yeah, it was really disappointing. So I'm gonna say this is my first not recommend. It's a 2.5 at
Uh,
best out of 5.
Marie?
I'm honestly struggling with this because I can't believe I gave Alien Earth more. But I think with just the emotional attachment that I have towards these characters and how much I enjoyed season 1, I think this was just such a letdown. I yeah, I mean there are good moments and like But
Embrace
you
the hate,
get all
Marie.
that from season 1. I genuinely,
turns
I
to
mean,
hate. Hate brings to the dark side.
I know. I like it's difficult for me
Search your
not to
feelings.
recommend a show
You know it to be
like
true.
that. Like that has queer characters. Like I will always recommend the gay, but they fucked up the gay in
Yeah.
this season, and
So, Marie,
I
is that a
don't
recommendation? Okay, out of 5. Mark out of 5 first.
Oh God, I think.
All right, I'll come back to you. Marie needs time.
No, this is the deal where you edit like me having like a full-on mental breakdown, and
I'm just gonna say, once you said they're gonna retcon it in The Boys, then it isn't necessary to watch this series. That's all you got to say. When you realize that they're gonna retcon, they're gonna summarize, and they're gonna explain it away in The Boys, you don't need to watch the series. You don't need to subject yourself to this shit.
So it's not a
Ooh, that's
recommendation from
first.
Jose, and it's a
No,
2.5 out of 5.
2.5. Yeah.
Jose, I'm going to even drop it one step lower. I'm dropping it to a 2, and yeah, don't recommend it. It's a 2 out of 5. And it's a 2, and I think similar reasons to why Marie is probably going to is struggling, because season 1 was good. And it's the drop off. If it had just been an average, it's like one of the Walking Dead knockoffs, you're like, okay, it was average, it was fine. So when a show that's got all the potential in the world and you've enjoyed the first season and then a second series just shits the bed. So this is a 2 out of 5 for me, and I'm not recommending it because you'll probably, as we said, you can just go straight on and watch The Boys season 5, and hopefully they're going to do a better job over there of incorporating these characters into the 5th season. Marie, we know it's been difficult for you.
I know. Yeah.
What is is it a recommendation or not? Yes or no?
If you don't watch it, you will not lose out on anything.
That is a no, people. I interpret that as a no. Jose, do you agree? Do you concur? And Marie, your rating out of 5.
Oh God, I think I do have to also give it like a 2. It pains me that I'm scoring this lower than Alien Earth, but
Wow.
but yeah, it was just such.
But
a
there's more
letdown.
disappointment here.
It's just and they fucked up one of my all-time favorite characters. Like Jordan deserves better. Like they were
Hashtag
just
justice for Jordan.
attractive. They were just extremely attractive window dressing. But they deserve so much better.
Well, ending on that negative note for a change, that's all the time we have on this week's episode of the We Need a Rose podcast. I'd like to thank my co-host Marie and Jose. Jose, where can people find you on the socials?
All right. You can find me on Instagram at a Spanish Joe. My photography page you can find at Jose Lopez Photos, and then my website, which hopefully one day will have Jennifer Lopez wedding photos. It is jlopezphotos.com.
Nice. And Marie, where can we find you plotting to make season 3 of Gen V written by you?
Oh, it would be the gayest shit I've ever put to screen. You can find me underneath the handle Life on Mars. That is Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And yes, I am still restricted on TikTok.
And you can find me at Needy Roads on Twitter, Neil Gregory78 on Instagram and Threads, Neil G78 on Blue Sky, and also at the We Needed Roads podcast on TikTok of all places. And for more We Needed Roads shenanigans, you can find us on Spotify and also on YouTube, where you'll have our full library of episodes. And if you like what you've heard, hit that bell icon and subscribe, because we also upload lots of short form content, instant reviews, and trailer reaction vids on there as well. And don't forget to leave us a comment and let us know what you thought of season 2 of Gen V. Will it come back for a 3rd season? Do you want it to come back for a 3rd season if this is what season 2 was like? How much of an influence do we think Marie and the Gen V gang are going to be in the final season of The Boys? And do we want them there? Let us know in the comments below.
Right, I'm gonna off to go watch Marie and Jordan compilation videos and remind myself of happier times.
Make sure to join us next time on your favourite superpowered pop culture podcast. See you then.
We Needed Rose.
What are you looking at,